We're live!
Yay! Hey guys, this is Aniver. Well, Nero. Wow, I forgot my own name. Nero. What's up, guys? I'm here with Perez Play, uh, White Duck Events, and PAG NYC. And I'm sorry, PAG,
It's PAG and NNZ.
PAG.
Yeah.
Okay.
PAG NNZ.
NNZ. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. There'll be links for their stuff in somewhere around here. Anyways, let's get this podcast started. Everybody introduce yourself. Perez Play. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jen, just Jen Cosplay Perez Play. Nice to see you guys again. I'm, what's this guy's name? I think. Toady or whatever. Polytoad.
Polytoad.
Polytoad today.
Pokemon for the win. We're all in that Pokemon Go mindset right now.
Yes, I was going crazy looking
Yes.
for Pikachu hats, so this is the best I could come up.
Well, hey, you got a Pikachu plush right there.
Pikachu!
Close enough.
It's close enough. Seems legit.
Really?
All right, who's next? Pag?
Hi.
PAG?
Hey.
Sorry, I keep calling you Pag.
Well, we go as PAG too. So,
Okay.
hi, I'm Aziza from I'm PAG NNZ Photos. I'm usually a photographer. I do events called Bits and Beats, and yeah, we've been doing it for a short bit of time, but I'm working with Retro and Retro Game Night NYC. So, yay.
Great.
That's
Great.
pretty much me.
What am I doing?
And here's Jen.
And White Duck Events.
What White Duck Events?
Yep. Go ahead, introduce
I know.
yourself, guys.
I'm Jackie,
And Jesse.
and we do White Duck Events. Well, I do it, and he just tags along.
Okay.
I'm really surprised it's not Jesse and James.
I was about
Yeah.
to say
I
that.
wished.
We're still Jays. We're still Jays.
You
It's
guys should
still Jays,
cosplay that at the event. Pokemon Go-Go.
Yeah.
Well,
Team Rocket.
it's my excuse to do my secret Pokemon cosplay, so I might have to get on that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people will be looking forward to that.
Pika.
And I should actually turn off my phone. I don't know why.
You keep
so
it on.
I guess we'll get underway with the questions.
Because he's talking. He's the videographer for Perez Play, and he's also my
Yeah.
right hand, my Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah.
I gave him the pin virtually the other day.
Virtually, she's still on her way on making the actual pin in real life. You know.
It's gonna be like macaroni.
Hey, it better be real gold.
We'll see
I'm
about
serious.
that.
It better be real gold. Anyways. All right. So the first question: what got you into events? We'll start with Jennifer.
Okay, well, I've been doing events professionally, I guess, for actual companies for like 10 or 12 years. Like I've worked for Samsung and like a little Japanese company called Foray and a bunch of other companies planning like trade shows and, entertainment for these events and food and all the flights and all that stuff. And then years ago, like 8-9 years ago, I started modeling, and I got connections, so I started doing huge photo shoot events. And I had makeup artists and not cosplayers, but models, and there was not real cosplay that much back then. Now it's like blown up. But yeah, so basically, photographers, models, makeup artists, designers, and then we'd rent a huge place, have like chicken and waffles and DJs, and it was all crazy. It was fun. So I started doing that, and then I started getting regular jobs in event planning, and then I started getting heavier into cosplay within the last few years. And last New York Comic Con in October, I was like, you know what? I went to Epic Win Entertainment's event, Rules 63, I believe it's called. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I could probably do events that I actually enjoy more so in the whole cosplay and geek realm. So that's how, it started. And then I had my cosplay masquerade in January.
Yeah, that was your debut, right?
Yeah, the first actual geek event, non-photo shoot related.
Right. All right, I guess we'll move on to PAG now.
Okay. Hi. So what got me into events? Well, basically, the PAG actually stands for Play All Gaming. I was working for that company for doing events, and so basically my debut, my actual real debut of having a real large event was the Evo party of last year, which was at Nevada Smith. We had about around 100 few people going, and from that day on, I started doing more and more gamer-related events. I kind of tapered away from that because since I'm part of the team, I travel a lot to different um, tournaments and everything. So tomorrow I'm going to Evo. So yeah, that's another thing. So now I broke off from PAG and I'm doing bits and beats with Retro Game Night, and it's started off with only 20 people. Now it's going to like 70 to 80 people coming a night. So we're doing pretty well. We can do better. But yeah, and oh yes, and Video Games New York actually sponsors us, so we're
Nice.
I've actually been to that store. It's really cool.
yeah,
They do like custom
My friend used to work there.
game boards and stuff.
yeah.
And
Same used to
yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so White Duck Events.
You're on.
What got you
Yeah.
into what got you into doing events?
Jen? No.
Beyonce me.
80% of it was 80% of it was Jen and seeing her amazing job at the masquerade and kind of going, Long Island needs something like this. I wonder if I could do it. So I set up karaoke on a whim, just like I want to try out this place and see if people want to do cosplay. And it went from, what was it, like 6 people to like 35 people.
We did the ice skating.
And I did do the ice skating first, but I went to, that was like 20 people, right? And then I did karaoke. And I'm getting like 30 to 50 people at these things, and I kind of don't know what to do with myself. So it sort of exploded on me. And now we have the bar owner, the karaoke bar owner, working with us to do karaoke's now a monthly thing out on Long Island, and get other on stuff, and we've got a bunch of stuff planned that way. And that's, I wouldn't say that's like an event because it's free and people just show up. So that's, I mean, that's not like an event thing.
We don't do the event so much as we just set the date and say, here's the day that everyone shows up in cosplay.
Yeah, but we have like our Gatsby event is like our first big event, and well, it's not like an event. I mean like an event.
Okay.
I mean, it's still it's a
This
party.
is why you should probably do it because
Still takes a lot of planning and promoting and all that
Sure.
good stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. So we've just kind of exploded, and I really thought that there was, a core group of like 20 nerds on Long Island because I'd never met anybody else, and now there's a good 75 of us that I know of. So, being on an island, we really have each other, and that's about it. So it's kind of cool. So I like doing it.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't actually been to any of your events because it's so far away from me, but I do see a lot of response on your Facebook.
That's okay. I still love you.
Hey,
Well,
let
I
me
mean,
drive.
come on. Once I get a car, I definitely go. No, once I get a car, I'll definitely go.
And
All right,
Jen, you too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll even pick her up. She can I'll pick her up from the ferry or whatever, and
are you
we'll all go
doing
together.
that Japan tour thing? Did that
No.
happen?
Ooh, what's that? I've never
No.
heard of it.
Cause that was like a major headache that I didn't want to deal with.
I was
And
actually
I
looking forward to that, and it was in like New York City, like close to New York City. And I was like, I could do it.
I might do that
Yeah.
next year when I have more, like, when I'm more popular. I might do that because it does cost money to go to the restaurants and the places. So I want to actually map it out and find out exactly how much money the entire thing is going to cost for people if they actually want to sit and eat and enjoy everything. So I have to work that out. But I think Kings Park took over that, so we're gonna do Kings Park instead.
Okay.
The thing. Yeah.
Cosplay picnic. Barbecue.
Play barbecue
Yeah.
thing.
I actually really wanted to go to that, but again, no car.
We'll send it.
Yeah, a lot of the events that you do are pretty cool. They're just so far. Like, I would like to go to all of them. And I'm sure you feel the same way. It's just, I feel useless without a car, without being able to drive. And I know my husband's not going to take me all the way over there.
Yeah.
And it's hard with the baby.
Oh yeah.
as
No.
you-
We're gonna all come to the
For
barbecue.
sure.
I wish my
Oh,
car was
Yeah.
working.
No, that's what I'm trying. I'm trying so hard to like work with the railroad and like Uber and stuff just to see if there's anything I can do as far as getting people from New York City out to us, because I will admit it's far. I mean, I don't know if it was a groan or not, but when Jesse realized that we were going back to Hoboken for the Heroes and Villains, he's like, "Oh my God, are we going to Jersey? Seriously?" And I was like, "Yes, we have to go to Jersey." And he's like,
What?
Tolls." I was like, "It's Jen. It's totally worth it."
I agree.
Because I don't think he realized where it was. It was really funny.
And at
Yeah,
the
that
end
is.
of this, we're all gonna like share all of our events and timeline and everything, just so everybody knows where everyone's gonna be at. So then we can, be like, oh, remember we mentioned this, so we'll go down the line.
Yep.
That was just me not paying attention.
Whoa, where'd she go?
She disappeared. Like she
Phone rang.
upgraded.
Fair enough. That was more me paying attention. That was more me going, oh, Chen's event? Of course we're going to that. Wait, it's where? Oh.
I also run a
Yeah.
pet sitting business, so I have to make sure that it answers
Her actual job.
my actual job.
Yeah, it's always hard with all the schedules conflicting and stuff. But we just gotta keep at it.
Well, yeah. And making
Alright,
sure that
so
our events don't conflict with conventions.
oh yeah, that's always hard. Since there's like a convention every week now. It's really
And party.
I feel like.
yeah, it's kind of getting annoying actually.
And then I'm like, oh no. Well, this could be another question. Well, I could, I don't know. Maybe you guys could relate with me. That way we could get into the conversation again.
Yeah.
Do you guys personally have, like, is it hard for you to plan events because of all the different conflicts, whether it be other conventions or other parties? Like, I deal with it. I'm wondering, like, Aziza, if you deal with it or if it's not as frequent.
Oh, see, like, for me, it's even more complicated because since I do, I'm part of the FGC, like my company's part of the FGC, fighting game community. I now have to worry about tournaments on top of that. So I have to worry about majors and other things that I have to actually travel to. So that's a big, huge conflict because I'm not going to be there to actually do my event, or I'm going to jump off the plane and do an event. So yeah, that's another thing that happens with me because
It definitely sounds exciting. So
yeah, it is really exciting. Like just watching the streams for a video game, like you don't even get the feel because the thing is that everyone's screaming, everyone's cheering, everybody's running up and down. There's so much excitement, there's so much hype that like, I mean, you can't impress upon it unless you go to an actual like fighting game viewing party. Like anybody that does a Marvel viewing party, you definitely know. Just you can hear grown men screaming. It's just so excited. Yeah.
It's like capturing that Pokemon. You've been trying
Yeah,
to
it's like capturing that Pokemon. But like 10 times even more intense. Like it's I don't know how to describe it. That's the reason why I've been in love with fighting games for a while. Like I've been a fighter girl since I was 9, so it's like, and I'm not that young, even though I'm in a rainbow wig. So,
Hey, you're never too old to game or cosplay or do anything.
or watch
Basically, you're
anime.
watch
you're
anime.
never too old to be a nerd. You
Yeah,
know?
or
No.
Yeah, we all love our Pokemans.
I see all these things about like, oh, capturing Pokemon in your 20s. I'm in my 30s capturing Pokemon, so.
I'm in my 30s. There's somebody that like what you call, he didn't grow up playing the games because he was older than me.
Right.
Like he's gonna be 50 soon, and he's like asking me questions about Pokemon and everything, and learning more about it. It's introducing new people to your genre. It's a good thing. Like
For sure. There are parents, there are kids and parents and entire families playing Pokemon Go now.
and
Yeah,
also fighting amongst each other because of their teams.
Right.
Which I think is silly. Well, my daughter helps me capture. First, I was having her throw the balls all the time, and then I noticed I was running out of balls. I'm like, you know what? You can watch me get the Pidgeys. She's like, Pidgeys? I'm like, look. It's like, I have no balls. I'm like, I can't. I'm going to have to do like a whole new phone and account just for you to play with it because I need my balls. Seriously.
True.
Get her like one of those cheap phones.
Yeah, so she could like practice because she's like all the way over
Yeah.
here and like Pidgey's right there or over here. We're like, no, Santa center. But anyway, let's not get off track. Jackie,
Right, of course.
how about you? Do you have issues like conflicts, like planning your events?
Yes and no. The last karaoke, there was a Ghostbusters event that I actually didn't even hear about.
Apparently, there was a Ghostbuster.
At the bar that's actually like right down the road from us, and
Wow.
and I had no idea. I have notifications from the bar because it's a really awesome bar. I actually might have a few events there because I did talk to them, and they're all up in the whole nerdy event thing. And there were a couple other conflicts with the smaller like 1-day cons on the island. I had to be careful of Immortal Con, Invion Con. There's just like the 1-day things that are out by us, which is awesome because us being on an island, we like you guys can't come out to us. We can't always get out to the older cons and the other cons. It's harder for us.
Yeah,
So,
I had an event planned close to Otokan, or it was that day, and I thought I wouldn't have a conflict because I'm in New Jersey, but apparently people drive 6 hours.
Yeah, well, that was that
Longer than that.
That would be me. I would be the one driving the 6 hours. But we've had conflicts. We haven't. I don't want to say we haven't had as many conflicts as you people on the mainland, so to speak. But
What is this, China?
yeah, right. But we do. I mean, we do just have to keep up on it, and it's because I'm friends with the two of the people that actually organize the other nerdy events on Long Island. They only do like 2 or 3 a year, so it's not horrible. And I get all their updates, so I don't really have to worry about that too much. But I mean, we have our ups and downs, and mostly karaoke. Karaoke goes till midnight, and a lot of this 1 o'clock. Sorry, a lot of the stuff ends at like 10, 11. So people will come over for like an hour and hang out with us. So it works out. But it's kind of annoying at the same time because I want to be just as big as the other places.
Well,
But because
you'll
of
get
that,
there.
we get rotating. I don't want to say customers.
We do, yeah, we do get rotating customers. So
Yeah.
it's a
People will
You know.
leave, and then more people.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it works out. Annoying.
I don't think I've even hit like 80 yet, but I could just have like the few people that I see every single time, and then like a new person might come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, I'm having so much fun," and like even just like that one person, those few people, it just you're making a difference in people's lives, even though it's not like
Oh, for
100 or
sure.
200. So that's what I keep saying to myself. I know it's hard being in New Jersey, like most
Wow.
of the time.
Unless you're in completely, like, literally in New York, it's always going to be a little hard. But if you keep keeping at it, you'll get there. You'll definitely get there because
I know.
a lot of people actually do need something closer to them, and you guys are making a difference there.
Yeah.
Bringing the nerd community together one step at a time.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll move on to the next one. I guess we kind of talked about our goals. So, what's the first thing you do when you're planning an event? Like, what goes into that?
You want me to
We'll start with Jennifer.
The first thing I do now, which my friend Chris Wong showed me, is I do a spreadsheet.
Those are always helpful.
I I name it. If there's any staff that I know for sure that I need to take care of, I have them noted on there, and how I will contribute to them. I would say first and foremost I have to look for a venue. So that could be tricky. There's some places that I love, like Hotel Victor Bar. I'm trying to do again because I've dealt with many venues and there's always like some kind of hiccups or something happens. But so far that one went pretty smooth. Baton Ramen's a cute place too. So I look for venues. Sometimes I call like a million places and I get a bunch of hang-ups, as Nero knows. Like when I was trying to do the maid cafe, people didn't understand me. They were all Japanese or they thought I was crazy, and they're like, "We don't want a maid cafe here." I'm like, "No, but you don't understand. Like, I'm trying to rent it out and make the thing." So yeah, you do. I would say get the venue. I do the spreadsheet. I find any performers or staff that I need, and then there's like promoting like crazy, doing the flyer, getting all the info for that flyer. I print the flyers. I'm just running down through everything. I put them all over the net. If it's New York, I look for New York event sites or nerdy New York event sites. The same with New Jersey. I do chats of all the people included, keep them up to date. I think that's pretty much it, right, Nero? Am I forgetting something?
Not really. I mean, you kind of covered most of it.
Yeah, so those are pretty much the steps. And then if I have to order anything, like I like to get little swag for people. I order stuff or order, things I need for cosplay or little props and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Book a makeup artist if I need it, if it's like a really fancy outfit. So that's pretty much all that goes into it.
I think you're kind of one of the only few people who actually give away like free stuff, like a lot of free stuff, during your events, because I don't see that a lot at the nerdy events that I go to.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I broke even at the 80s event for sure. Or I don't even know if I made it because like I give out so much 80s stuff because that's like my life,
Yeah.
That's so I was like, bouncy balls and sticky hands and ring pops, everything for everybody. And then also White Duck Events donated to and sponsored some cool stuff. So they have been helping us. a lot too, with sponsorships of gift cards and little giveaways and decor. That's another thing, decor. I usually buy decor depending if it's a theme thing.
Or you
Yeah.
have me do it and go super overboard.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it looks good and it pleases the customers.
Yeah, I go a little crazy sometimes.
How about you, PAG?
Hey, okay. So basically, um, it's all about getting the time and figuring out when I'm actually doing something. Then it's getting the venue, which is really hard because of the fact that I live in New York and I'm doing everything in Manhattan. So Manhattan is a hard venue to actually try. Like it's hard to get a venue because you talk to a bar and a bar would probably have a free night and then they'll overbook you or they'll do something really weird. But Bar None has been very nice to us, and they haven't overbooked us or haven't just decided to do something else while we're doing something. So I keep a great rapport with Bar None. After that, basically I'm sponsored by Video Games New York, and since I'm doing a constant biweekly event, I can actually do emails and start sending out to other companies that are associated to retro games and rhythm games. So I'm actually getting like I got marketing from the game Crypto the Necro Dancer. Like I'm giving away like free iOS code for
Okay.
the game, and I'm starting getting a T-shirt company. Shirtman, I think Shirtman 5000. I'm not too sure. We're still working around with it, but he's giving away free T-shirts. So it's just, after that is just doing the marketing to that is the craziest thing that you do. Is like as soon as you get the event, then I'm just like on Twitter, Instagram, on Facebook, and I'm just blowing it up constantly as I get home. And I just sometimes I'm so exhausted, but it's like you have to do it
Yeah, it's very
because
overwhelming at times.
yeah, it's very
I have
involving.
people, like, I tell everyone, please share this. I'll be like, okay, it's time to share on Twitter because I actually look up the best times to share everything. So I
Yeah.
go by a schedule and I send myself calendar reminders so I know, okay, let's say Fridays at 12 or whatever is the best time to post on Facebook. So I'm like, okay, guys, Facebook. So everybody that's part of the event, I'm like, post on Facebook. Let's go. Blow it up.
Yeah, so that's basically what's going on. Because since I have a consistent event, I can now take all the photos that I taken and all the media and all everything that I got, and I can go to another company and say, okay, this is what I have. This is what I'm doing right now. This is currently what's happening, and this is the next time. So that helps, like just broadcasting myself out and also being able to contact other people to get interested in what I'm doing so I'm not dipping into my pocket too much is something that's major in what I'm doing because basically my events are used to save money to actually travel to and I'm not traveling myself but other people other gamers to different locations. So like the next time I'm traveling with a whole bunch of people is upstate. So we're driving all the way up to state and we're going to another Defender North, and then after that, I think 3 weeks later we're going to Philly for Summer Jam. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, you guys are really busy there.
you're really busy. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll move on to White Duck Events.
All right. What goes on in my head? Basically,
Yes, please.
basically, I have the idea. I look for an open date, um, something that doesn't conflict with a convention, one of Jen's events, a local con, which is why the Ghostbuster event kind of got me off
I just don't
track
believe
because
it actually happened.
I didn't even pay attention to that. I look for if I'm working, if I have to be somewhere, if I have clients, because as a pet sitter, I have to make sure that I don't have to, run and check on a dog 6 times a day. So I look for dates that are open. Then it's venues to see if that date is open on that venue. Right now it's mostly stuff that's probably going to cost under $10. If that, I mean, really the only stuff, the expensive stuff I have is the Gatsby party and a vineyard trip out east that I had an idea for. But I want to keep everything like $5 and less, so.
Which is mostly why I got involved as it was, because she'd come up with ideas and just start making events, and all of a sudden I wake up one morning, there's 6 events planned out throughout the year, and I go, what's happening? So
I gotta keep her in check.
And
the longest event.
To at the very least try and think out her events before she just says, this is a good idea, let me make it.
Jennifer actually needs that because Jennifer, you actually need that because you plan events like willy-nilly. I don't want to say willy-nilly, but yeah, you do. You plan events like that a lot. And
Willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly is the perfect way to describe
But yeah,
you're definitely getting there.
Well, I like to have things planned out months in advance so that I can like Jen has on this day at this time I'm gonna like Facebook bomb this event and it's gonna go all over the place. So I like to have things planned out with enough time that I can do that and have enough people that it will gain interest. So pretty much we are planned up until January of next year, and I'm not adding. I might add 1 or 2 events, but we're pretty much set. And right now it's getting ideas and writing them down in a notebook for what we want to do. We already have this bar, it's called Katie's, lined up to do 1 or 2 events. Over details with them. They're on board. Jen recommended Lovecraft, which we absolutely love. So I definitely want to do something there. But right now, Jesse's like, no, you're going to stop and you're going to wait like 3 months.
Think it out.
and then you can plan it. But we
have. It sounds like a good idea. Doesn't mean it'll actually work.
Well, yeah, we have requests for laser tag because there's like 3 massive laser tag places. And one of them's like, I don't know about the whole costumes thing. The other one's like, all right, well, if you do like something casual, that's okay. The other one hasn't gotten back to me.
Didn't one say it was fine, just no giant props?
No.
No. Okay.
No. But like I wanted to do something at Dave & Buster's, and they're like no costumes, and I'm like, okay, guys, we have to keep it like very casual. As somebody suggested, the whole Disney bound costume thing, which was Jesse. No, you and Sammy. And so I said keep it casual. Nothing, no props, no, whatever. And I just looked the other day.
It's in right now.
Yeah, like Jen's outfit would be perfect. Like our
one of those every time we go.
Yes, yeah. So that actually exploded to like 300 people interested. And I'm like, oh my god, what the heck are we gonna do? We're gonna get kicked out of Dave & Buster's. And so, I am like, oh my god, I made sure it was casual. I wasn't even 100% sure I wanted to keep it at Dave & Buster's, and now I'm like, oh my god, what am I going to do? So we're going to leave it, and we're going to figure out what happens. But
I have a suggestion.
With the venue first. Oh my god.
Okay, I have a suggestion. Whenever you see that your you're getting a lot of interested, or like that one you can kind of ignore. Going is your problem. If you see 300 going, that's when you go straight to the venue and say, I have 300 people coming to this event. Well, actually, like not 300 people. Like, yeah, I'm like, you can say I have 200 people coming to this event because you have to cut it down to 2/3. So, like, yeah, I have 200 people coming to the event. Can you accommodate me? And if they say no, then you have to make sure that they have the proper staff to make sure that 200 people don't rush the venue and they're like, we're having a fire code hazard. Why didn't you tell us? Yeah.
Yeah.
After
well,
that,
that's what I was worried about with karaoke, because there were so many people going, and I was like, oh, I should probably tell them that there's a bunch of people in costumes coming, and I let him know, and now he's like, do you want to make it a monthly thing? I was like, okay, sure. So it doesn't hurt to ask, which you're absolutely right with.
Yeah, and from personal experience, it's always good to lay out everything with the venue owner, every single thing, because you never know if something might bother them or they'd be surprised by something, you have issues. Yeah. I like to
or to hire somebody else to help them out, because like once my event started to boom, I have there's the extra security. Like he got an extra security guard during my event. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I guess that kind of segues into what else do like venues require in order for you to hold these events?
Some venues ask for a certain amount of people so they can satisfy the bar. There's some venues that would want a % of door sales. And then there's other venues that you have to actually rent the space. And then more recently too, I had to actually just pay for the bouncer and for the DJ setup. So every venue has their own type of deal going on. You have to see what works best for you and the venue, and also try to lay out, like I said, everything that you're going to do and everything that they're going to provide for you. Because I've had places that, you know, everything was in writing, and I rented out the space, and then I arrived there, and all the chairs and tables are gone. And I'm like, why are there no tables or chairs? So I'm like literally, you know, in the back room talking to the venue owner, and he's like, oh, there was no mention in it. And I had to, like, I had my friend go through my emails because I was so red hot upset and actually look for all that terminology when we mentioned it. And then he's like, okay, fine, you know, here's your tables and chairs back. Otherwise, I would have to, like, pay for the tables and the chairs. Because a lot of venues like to do that. They like to surprise you with some things, or, like, I don't want to mention the venues, but I had one venue where I arrived, and then there were
Use
people...
code names.
Huh?
Use code names.
No, I don't, you know, and we work things out.
Just say what your event was.
Huh?
You don't have to say the venue, but you name your event.
I'll just, whatever. If anyone wants to know what, you could message me and I'll let you know. Who did what?
Anyways, continue.
So, you know, I arrived there, and there were people mixed in there that weren't a part of my party. So I'm like, why are there people here that have nothing to do with this party? It was very confusing, and it was very cramped. But then eventually they worked it out where they moved us downstairs, and we had a really big room. So, yeah, and then another venue, you know, the DJ equipment wasn't working for I don't know how long. There's always surprises, so just make sure you get as much information you can from each venue and lay everything out. You know, is this space only going to be for me? What's the size of the space? Are all the tables and all the chairs mine? Do I have to pay for them? Like, every single little detail that you think is common sense, you should still ask, because, you know, you get surprised left and right from these places. They try to one-up you.
Alright, PAG, how about you? Do you have anything?
Yeah, I had a few things. Like one, was like we had a bar that decided to not have us there anymore. It was just like, okay, we're not gonna just do like. But this was from like not. This is not when I started doing bits and beats, but from like previous, like when I was doing play all gaming events. And one day the bar just said, the day before the event, you know what? You're not allowed to come here anymore. And we're like, what?
Well,
And, yeah. So we were able to find another venue on the fly to actually continue our event. So it was just like it's just like New York City has a big stigma against gaming, like
Ah.
video games. Big stigma. Like there used to be arcades all over the place. They were notorious for crime and violent behavior. So that trickled down throughout the years, and then there are other politicians that made sure that other gaming stores closed down. So that traveled throughout like the years, and it's been like that. If you come over there saying, "I have a gaming event," the bar would be like, "Okay," or really thrilled, or they just want you out because they think that you're going to bring a bar fight. So
Well,
it's
it's
interesting.
it's always gonna be hard like that.
Yeah.
But it's getting more and more popular, and they'll see like what they're missing out on. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think with,
sooner or later
with
they'll.
cosplay and recently with the issues in Pulse, I had one friend of mine who we are boss levels, who I actually have worked with in the past, and he has sponsored, and I actually cosplayed and hosted for him. Was saying now his hip hop events are actually, people have issues with because they're afraid of like a gunfight, breaking out, or just because of instances like that.
Yeah.
So even when I was telling him about the show, the variety show in Pyramid, he was like, just be careful because some places might not want to hire, or host a place that has like hip hop or events like that because they think they're going to bring the wrong crowd or promotion or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to White Duck Events. What do you have for us in terms of what venues require?
So far, we've kind of lucked out with our venue choices because, like I said, the karaoke one that we go to, it's a bar that just does karaoke every night. All we basically did was, and they have video game consoles set up everywhere. But we basically just said, hey, is it okay we show up here in cosplay? And they said, yeah, as long as why not? So still, there's no charges because we're just taking advantage of their normal routine and back of everything. The next event we have coming up is the barbecue in a park, so that's just a matter of making sure we get all the permits for everything that we want to do there.
Yeah,
that's one thing. That's one thing about like outside events. Like, how do you go about doing like getting permits and stuff like that?
Well,
good question.
Good question.
Well, the thing is, because a lot of people are like, why is it $5? So we have to pay for the food, and there is a small permit charge, but there's also, I have to get the professional photography permits so that the photographers, if they have a tripod or the reflecting screen or whatever, they can actually use that and do their setup. So I have to get the permits for that to make sure that they can be there. Otherwise, they just have to bring their standard camera, and I would hate to, rob them of the equipment to get the shots. Our problem with that is
the general permit, which is basically for the general permit, they basically want a rough estimate of how many people are going to be there within about 50, give or take. So if we tell them it's going to be the hardest part is trying to get an actual head count because we tell them there's going to be this many people here and an extra 100 show up, then they're kind of not
then we're gonna have, because they need to make sure that there are patrols. And location wise I picked it because it is next to the abandoned state hospital, so that's a blessing and a that's kind of a blessing and a curse, because it's like you can't go in the buildings. You need to respect the property. You can walk around the property, but don't like break anything. You know, they do have patrols. There are woods. So there's buildings in the woods that people don't know about that I have found. Because I used to walk a dog over there. So it's a protected site, but you are allowed to go. You are allowed to take pictures. But people don't understand, like, I really can't have shenanigans. And a lot of people, you know, they're going, oh my god, well there's no fun in not going in and stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, you know, because there was an event at a park near us earlier in the year. I think it was in March. And they put it out on Facebook that you were going to have this event. And the rule is if you're going to have more than 50 people, you need the permit. So they said, well, it's only going to be 25 people. No big deal. They never got a permit. And through the power of Facebook, 400 people showed up. And it wasn't a nerd event. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a regular event in the park that they had put out on Facebook. So I am trying my hardest not to let that happen. I'm getting a lot of resistance with that by saying, you know, I need to make sure that we sell tickets to have a head count. And they're like, why? And I was like, because I want to be able to do this again, because it's an amazing place, and if you have, you know, your zombie apocalypse cosplays, this is like the place to go, and I don't want to screw that up for anybody else. But that's kind of the biggest stress on me right now, is making sure that that is all set up, the permits are in, and people understand that this is not a free-for-all, even though it's in a park. There are still rules.
Yeah.
So
people don't really understand that just because it's a public park, you can't just show up and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right.
There's always going to be rules and regulations.
When it's a public park, why do I have to pay $5 for it? And tried explaining. Right. We want to cover the fees the permits fees that we have to do, and we want to take the excess money to put into food to try and make sure that everyone has something to eat when they show up.
Yeah. So it's, you know. So it's, you know, head count, food, permit. There's a lot that goes into that, just so, you know, and then they might have to get extra ranger patrols. They would have to, you know, make sure that they know how many people are coming to accommodate. You know, maybe there's one ranger that circulates every half an hour normally, but now they're going to have 2 or 3. And get the state park police, because we've had people jokingly ask about drugs and alcohol, and I'm going to make sure that that gets shut down really, really quick. So that's one of my major concerns now, is people smoke, you know, going off to smoke and getting caught, because then it's on our back. So I'm asking for extra patrols on pretty much all fronts, and you know, Jesse and a few other people have agreed to be kind of security.
Really?
Hi, Chi. So we're really, that's the one right now that we're, you know, really kind of covering our bases, and we're freaking out a little bit about. But yeah, it's, I mean, the other venues have pretty much set themselves up. The one already has nerdy events, so they can go, this is what we normally do, and we can say, okay, yes, or okay, no. Gatsby we lucked out on. It's pretty much, here's the top floor and go for it. Just make sure, you know, you get the, you know, you fill the space with the 80 to 100 people. So that's basically it.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Alright, since we're talking about people, what goes into like like how do you advertise? Basically, is what I'm asking. Um, we'll start with Jennifer.
I think I mentioned it before, but through all social media, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, obviously. I even do podcasts featuring some of the staff and guests and performers. Instagram, sites online, like just look up, New York events or New Jersey events, and the most popular sites are usually where I post the events at. Um, I make, the flyers and I print them out. I give them out at the venue usually, if I get to it on time. And if it's like an after party at the con itself to try to get more people. But yeah, that's basically how I advertise. No, like big. Oh, we did a commercial. Yeah, Nero, Nero,
Yeah, we
and
did kind of do a commercial for the Maids vs. Butler Cafe.
yeah, we did a Maid versus Butler cafe commercial. So that was outside of the box. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that
so
was my
yeah.
first commercial.
So if anyone needs any video, contact Breathing Veil. He's awesome at it.
Well, I mean, I'm awesome, but you know. Anyways, PAG, how do you advertise?
Mostly Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Mostly because Instagram, because like photos and stuff like that.
Right.
Flickr, and then the other thing is that I since I have featured video games, I go on the subreddits for those games, and I post there, and I tell people about it. I go to the video game companies itself, and I'll post on their forums that I have an event coming up too. So like I'm just basically doing a broader kind of scale of like push. I haven't done anything like video or anything like that. A friend of mine who does video is coming through to our event, and he's going to make a video too. And I've been getting other podcasts coming through, and we've been doing interviews and stuff like that. I haven't gotten the links for those yet, but yeah, because Bits and Beats is so new.
Yeah.
Like the podcasts haven't even posted yet, and I just had like a lot of interviews and stuff like that. And then there's like random people that come to my party, take pictures, and then leave, and they're advertising for me, and I have no idea where they are. like,
One thing I would say is always try to get their business cards at least.
Yeah.
I did. Me and my partner in video games New York, we have this code name for one guy. We call him the fairy drunk mother, who comes by and just gives us like free drinks of like Captain Morgan, and then leaves, takes pictures, and then leaves, and we're like, we had to stop him.
Please.
I'm trying to find his business card again because I'm like, dude, thank you for giving us free drinks and paying for everything. We want to kind of work with you so it's not a surprise. So when people come to my party going, say, will there be free drinks? And I'm like, I don't think so. And then a guy with a serving tray, like 3 serving trays full of drinks, goes like, free drinks, everybody. And I'm like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? Hi. This is special. Tell us what you're doing, please. Because this is awesome. Please work with us. Please. Like,
Yeah. Next time you see him, just catch him in a net or something. Take him home.
I need to. I need to patch him in a Pokeball. Maybe a Master Ball. He's
Yeah,
really
maybe.
slippery.
Or maybe a dark ball.
Yeah, basically.
'Cause he might be
You
too
know what?
resistant.
No, actually don't, because he is an African American male. So don't throw in the dark ball.
I mean, I was saying that as in terms of from Pokemon Coliseum,
Oh yeah, sure.
where
But
you
I'm just
can
like,
catch other trainers' Pokemon.
The Master Ball.
yeah, put on the Master Ball.
All right, it's blue.
As well.
Really quick before I forget, I just want to thank all my friends and followers on Facebook that share my events and posts. They help a lot too, and like for no reason. And thank you, I love you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
they
reminded me
do.
of it with the ferry. But I have people always helping. Like I have Alan who like sponsors like for the autism event. He sponsored like 100 and something like to help the autistic kids, and you know the other sponsors that I have. Like We Are Boss Level donated 200. So I always have a lot of people helping me, especially that I'm starting out. 8-Bit Bake Shop who donated all the cookies and sweets to the first event that I had.
Oh, 8-Bit.
I love
I love
we
her
need
so
to get them.
much. Like,
Get her.
like she don't like. I was like, oh, can you like? Would you like to donate cookies and stuff like that? She's like, yeah, sure. And I thought she was gonna give me 5. She gave me a few hundred, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Hannah, please,
Yeah,
give me the
I'm
flyer.
really bummed out that I missed that party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her, she made, she was like, oh, what cookies do you want? So I was like, what's hot right now? I was like, One Punch Man. So we have a picture of this ball. And then, what did she put? She did Rosa's Shield. And she did, crap, I can't remember it right now because I have so much going through my head. But, like, her stuff is amazing. And I try to order her things, like, for every event. She did my daughter's birthday cake as well. So definitely look them up.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're
Um,
awesome.
all right, I guess we'll and we'll end with White Duck Events.
Oh, I know. I keep thinking there's more.
Yeah, how do you?
So wait,
how do
we promote?
Yeah.
Facebook, because I am Twitter and Instagram illiterate. I know White Duck. Yeah, I know White Duck has a Twitter and has an Instagram. But I haven't assigned
Has been
people.
given to us.
I haven't like assigned people to stay on top of it because I want to assign people who are like super into Twitter and Instagram to work on that because I am like I don't want to say I'm Facebook loyal, but I'm Facebook loyal. In probably a really bad way. I do have a lot of people that promote and share on Facebook. Our photographer Kate. She probably invites a good 75% of the people that show up at karaoke are like her friends from college and stuff. So her sharing all of the events and going to the events brings in about 50 to 75% of the people, and then it goes like word of mouth through that group of friends. Jesse sharing gets a few of like our older friends, like the people I knew when I moved out here, which unfortunately involves my ex.
Hey, if you can use it for something, might as well do that.
But yeah, no, and I just had business cards printed up, and I basically word of mouth. And what do you? Oh,
Yeah.
you have the.
Screen cap that, guys. Anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that, and we're working on like flyers and getting more as far as Jen has the amazing like cover photo advertisements and stuff like that, and flyers, and
Yeah.
If anybody
Shout outs to Rojas
I know
Creative Work.
I have to reach out to them and get that because
Yeah.
it's just that's something that I have to get to, but I'm not at like I don't want to say I'm like at Jen's event level where I really need that, but I'm definitely getting there, so it is something to put in.
Anything you can get
Start
to
planning
promote.
for now.
Especially for gas,
Yeah.
I think you should get a really cool flyer.
Yeah.
We've actually been contacted for events.
We have been contacted for events, actually, which is weird. I've had 2 venues that want us to bring karaoke. Like, they supply the person that runs the karaoke. We supply the people in cosplay. I've been contacted twice about that. Unfortunately, one was a tiki lounge, tiki hookah lounge, and like nobody smokes. So as nice as it would sound,
Put a poll out, and the majority of the polls
Yeah, as nice as it would sound, most people are like, no, we don't smoke or
like,
anything.
no.
So
That's
I
understandable.
was like, I'm sorry, but that's not really our thing. And
I think you'll get more of that kind of audience here in New York because a lot of people smoke here, especially
yeah,
hookah because they think it's safer than cigarettes and stuff. It's really not.
yeah,
No,
No.
I think it's
No.
worse.
I'm inhaling water into my lungs. What can go wrong?
I mean, it kind of is, but the problem is that shisha does have tobacco in it.
Yep.
Because like they actually sneak it in,
Yeah.
so to get you kind of addicted to it. So that's the problem.
Yeah, I worked at a hookah lounge for about 4 hours helping my friend, and I was like, gonna die. I hated it so much.
You do worth it.
Yeah, well, we still got paid. We
All right.
paid ourselves.
Well,
Um,
I'm gonna cut you off there, and we're gonna end with one last question. What kind of advice would you give anybody who's trying to start out doing these kinds of events? Jennifer.
Okay. Well, I would say you have to be thick-skinned. That's one one thing.
For sure. You're gonna get a lot of backlash, a lot of negativity, but you gotta power through it.
Yeah, no matter what, especially anything that you say or do on social media, especially if you're in the limelight, people are going to judge you and misread things and look into things that are not there. Do what you want to do and you're passionate about. Don't let other people change your mind or your ideas on your events or what your goals are. I truly believe, if you're passionate and you love what you do, people will follow and see it. If you're doing something just to get like numerous amount of people to come, which of course, my attendees matter to me, and but like I'm not gonna be fake and act a certain way or do something that I'm completely against or not for. I know some people are like, oh, do let's say Harry Potter, and like, okay, like I've seen maybe the first movie, but I'm not like a heavy nerd that would be really into it. Like, oh, let's get the owl, and you know what I mean? Just like an example, because people are always telling me to. I actually got someone who told me to do a weed party, and I'm like, not doing that.
Nah.
So yeah, just do that. Do heavy research on the venues. Heavy research on any talent or anyone that you want to hire for your events, photographers, videographers. Be ready to be flexible and be ready for anything that might come. Because just like a wedding, unexpected things happen last minute.
Yep. All right. What about you, PG?
Basically, just really do your research. Just make sure that things that you definitely go for things that you're passionate about, because if you're not passionate about it, you're just going to do a lackluster event, and that's problematic because nobody's going to come to something that's just put together.
Yep.
You need to know exactly what you're doing and also how you can present it to make other people enjoy it. Like just doing a whole bunch of things and a whole bunch of like random crazy things at the same time, even though they might be fun, but at the time it's kind of a mishmash. So you have to just make sure that everybody is like you actually and also learn from your audience. Like your audience will tell you exactly what they want to do, exactly why they came there, exactly what makes this fun, So listening to your audience and trying to accommodate them just a little bit, because some of them are I'm not gonna say, some of them are not the nicest people in the world, but
Yeah, just be ready to deal with them, right?
just be ready to deal with them.
Yeah.
And always keep your hand on the ban button. But yeah, that's basically it. Like it's hard, and I'm not saying it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's hard because like you have to put a lot of energy into telling people about your events. Like
Right.
it doesn't come easy. Like nobody just gonna walk up to your event and say, "I'm coming to this." You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And anything worth doing is never easy. So
Yeah.
if it's hard, don't give up.
Yeah.
Okay, White Ducks. What advice do you have for new event planners?
Don't do it. Get out now before you get in. Save all the hassle and the pain and the headaches and the heartache. Just don't go through it. But if you do have any ideas, please send them along to us.
Just
That
trying
works.
to get competition. Anyways,
No, it's well.
any real advice?
Hey!
I'm just kidding.
Pretty much what everybody else said. Yeah, you really research the venue again. Like Jen said, have thick skin. I'm learning that. I feel like I'm a little too sensitive because I freak out over such things. Somebody will write a comment on an event, and I'm like, oh my god, did I do something wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Like, did I say that right? Oh my god, is that coming across as like bitchy, or did I? And everyone's like, just be yourself, and I'm like, no, that's not happening at this event. Go find somewhere else. And I'm trying to like get a little bit better at that, but
Yeah.
like Jen said, the weed party, the people that are like, hey, are we gonna be able to smoke here or whatever, and I'm like, GTFO, I don't need you near my events at all. I don't want to deal with it. Just go away. I want the genuine
Legal
people.
in the state, and we're trying to be reputable.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Don't tarnish us
better at that.
your ways.
Like, can we come to your party and do our drugs here? What?
Yeah, right.
Who asked that? Like,
But
seriously.
yeah, I mean, pretty much what everybody else said is accurate. And small. Don't start off with a huge event like I did. And
Start small, yeah.
I tried to. Yeah,
your
start
toes
small.
in the
I did the
water.
karaoke because it's free. Like tiny, small.
Karaoke is small, it's free, because we don't charge, and it's building up a fan base for us.
Yeah, so
In
tiny.
hopes that they will be more willing to go and spend money on the larger events.
So yeah, start very, 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 very small. Very, very small. Even if it's a pool
those are good
party
advice.
in your backyard. Yeah,
Well,
that's
there might be a problem with that because you don't want random strangers coming to your house.
I know. Well, yeah. Well, I have like 4 people that if they show up at the events, I know it's going to be a party, and I've become really close with them. So, I would be okay starting off with a pool party with those 4 people, and letting it go from there because they're awesome.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. I am Nero Septimus, aka Breathing Veil, and yeah, you could find me on Facebook, Breathing Veil, on YouTube also Breathing Veil, and my website is breathingveil.com. You guys plug your channels, and then we're gonna head out. Jennifer.
Okay. Also, last thing I forgot. I know I'm bad at this.
Yeah.
But make sure at your events that everyone's taken care of. Like, remember, cosplay is not consent. Everyone's being respected. Have eyes everywhere. Have your belongings with you at all times. So yeah, that's always my most important thing. That everyone's treated fairly and no harassment and all that. Which so far it's okay. There've been some bumps, but
Safety is number one priority.
Yeah.
Huh?
Safety is number one priority.
Yes, I want everyone safe and happy and sound. But okay, so Perez Play obviously is where all my events are on Facebook. On Facebook also Just Gen Cosplay. I have a few events which I'm gonna run down really quick because I know we're running down on time. I have some free ones too. July 23rd, we're gonna go to Splash Packs in East Hanover. That's a water park and arcade. July 30th, I'm gonna have a cosplay party for pool party for charity for One Orlando. and it's in Bayonne, New Jersey. So it's a really cool event, and if you get like a $5 donation or donate whatever you want for that for the charity, you could go into the Pokemon Go-Go Dance Party in Hoboken at Hotel Victor Bar for free. So definitely check that out. Then Maid vs. Butlers, August 6th in Lovecraft. The entertainment showcase, August 21st, with all the different talent, musical, dance talent. And then October 8th is the New York Comic Con after party at Bullmore. But you can check all that out. I have a few other ones there too at Perez Play.
All right, PAG, plug your events and stuff and your contacts.
Okay. My Facebook is PAG NNZ Photos. All one word, or you can just search PAG space NNZ. I also am on Twitter as @ZZDown. I am on Instagram as NaughtyNimbusZ. And my next Bits and Beats is going to be on the 20th of this month, and it's at Bar None NYC, and it's going to be a great time. Yes. Also, remember to look at my sponsors, which is Retro Game Night NYC, and they're on Facebook, and also Video Games New York. So VGNY, search that hashtag. Video Games New York is on Facebook. They're on Twitter. They're on Instagram. So, and Video Games New York is all one word. So.
Yep. And also visit their store if you're in New York. They're really cool.
They're really cool. Like they have like random old stuff. Like it's like a museum in there, and you could buy the museum. That's the cool thing about it.
Yeah, it's at I believe it's 3rd Avenue and 7th Street. No, 6th.
It's on 6th Street and 3rd Avenue. So it's in that little alcove right over there. So yeah.
All right, White Duck Events.
White Duck Events. Basically, what it is.
Facebook.com/White Duck Events.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right now, we do karaoke at the Lizard Lounge in Bohemia. The next one is July 22nd at 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And let's see. Then we have the next karaoke after that is August 5th. And the Kings Park event is August 21st from, what did I write down? 1 p.m. to dusk, because I don't want to limit people. And the Gatsby event, the Gatsby Gala, is September 10th. I think we're doing 8 p.m. to 12 on that one. But again, everything's on Facebook.com/White Duck Events, and you can check those out. Mostly Long Island, and there's a few things in New York City coming up as well. So.
All right.
Okay.
So thank you guys for watching again. Yeah, I'll see you next time, or Jennifer will, because I'm not gonna host again.
Maybe you will.
Damn, okay.
Maybe.
I think it's good experience. You're doing good. You're speaking up more. I like it. You did a great job then.
Okay. We'll talk about that after the podcast.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
All right, bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Good luck.